The Northeast Seattle Tool Library exists to reduce waste. A single tool in our library can keep 250 of the same tools from being purchased new. With 7,500 tools in our inventory, this saving can add up to thousands of pounds or even tons of resources from being used. For example, in 2020, we made 3,317 loans, and this was a year with dramatically reduced hours. The shared tools allow our members to maintain their houses, vehicles, and outdoor areas so that they last longer and require less resources overall. For example, one of our members is a high school senior. She's been borrowing tools over the last year to repair and convert an old minibus into a movable tiny home. We've been able to not only help her with tools, but also with knowledge and suggestions as to how to move forward. She's keeping the old vehicle out of the landfill, and by using the tool library, has needed to purchase very few tools in the process.
Hi, my name is Maya. I'm a high school senior at Seattle Waldorf High School. This is my bus. We started working on the engine. It was sitting on my school property. They just left it there because there was no way that they wanted to fix it. I asked if I could do my dream project, which is building a tiny home. My dad told me about the Northeast Seattle Tool Library. Since we don't have a ton of tools at home, I decided to check it out, and it was a lot more than I expected, and it was really cool for me to go there and borrow all the tools I needed really, and then come home and then work on my project, get new tools that I needed. My project is really dependent on the tool library. The most helpful tool from the tool library probably was the 5-foot-long crowbars that I used to rip up the floor.
Lots of other members use our wide array of landscaping tools to transform their grass lawns into rain gardens or native plant wonderlands. We even offer tools such as sharpening files that help members maintain their own tools. Our tools are nearly all donated from folks cleaning out their garages or storage space, or their aging parents' garages, or from people who simply recognize that they only need to use the item infrequently and want to share with their community. We repair tools that might otherwise be tossed in a landfill, and the fact that we're here encourages community members to avoid purchasing new tools in the first place. Our current membership is over 1,300, and to date we have made over 185,000 loans since our opening in 2014. Many of our tools have been borrowed over 100 times, and some as many as 250 times.
Hi, I'm Spencer Chin. Actually, there's two things that I've done. I've borrowed tools, and then I've also actually taken a little bit of a safety class. For someone who has no experience with tools, and come in and learn from people who have a lot of experience. And yeah, the first project with Trisha, it was just to get hands-on. So I used the table saw, the drill press, the sander over there, a bandsaw. Actually, my roommate is a member. He's a student, and I think part of the concept of the tool library is that people who don't have a lot of money, they can come here and they can figure out if this is right for them. Today I have a Dremel, and then I have a bunch of clamps that are going to hold down all the wood. Just the amount of use that these tools get alone, the reusability itself is more than sustainable. We've gone through probably hundreds of people's hands and homes. I've gotten so much good quality information, good quality time, and good quality tools. Surprised I didn't know about it before. I wish I had.
The COVID pandemic has dramatically depleted our finances. We had to close completely for several months back in the spring of 2020, and when we finally opened up in early summer, we had to maintain reduced hours as well as reduced occupancy to follow public health guidelines and accommodate for the dramatic reduction in volunteers that were willing to come in to help during open hours. Our member community is the source of nearly all our revenue. Though membership fees are by optional donation, 80% of our funding comes through donations from members, and another 5% from workplace matching funds. When members aren't coming to the library, our income stream turns into a trickle. We have weathered a little over 1 year as we write this, but we lost $33,000 in revenue in 2020 and at the same time experienced a rent increase in January 2021 that is straining our budget and rapidly shrinking our operating reserves. Luckily, we received a $31,000 COVID relief grant from the City of Seattle's Waste-Free Communities program. This grant requires that we match that amount with donations of money or time from our community members. Although we've been reluctant to ask, knowing that a significant percentage of our members are suffering their own financial hardship, we're now mounting a campaign to raise money through matching donations, monthly sustainer donations, or just one-time donations from our loyal community. There are a variety of ways to give: at the library by way of check, cash, or credit card, or online via our PayPal donation button at our website, which is where you can also set up a recurring monthly donation. All your donations qualify as not-for-profit donations, and if your employer has a matching program, we will always provide you with a receipt for tax or matching purposes. Our overall goal is to raise $20,000 over the next year above and beyond our annual member donations. So please help us if you can.
Hi, my name is Larry Cito. I've checked out a lot of different variety of tools. It repurposes tools that would never see the light of day. I know it's a big effort. It pulls a lot of people together to get this going. It really helps me use some tools I would never have access to. And I'm doing some pretty heavy duty home remodeling, and the tool library has been a pretty big part of that. This has been not only helpful in the practical sense, but from a morale sense. Now I have purpose at home. You know, I'm now driven to projects that would be unrealized. And it's also a kind of helping me not focus on COVID as much. And so this has been huge, a huge resource.
The Northeast Seattle Tool Library is a project of Sustainable Northeast Seattle, which is a 501c3 not-for-profit organization. The Tool Library itself is overseen by a steering committee made up of volunteers who set the budget, supervise staff, and make policy. The library employs 2 part-time staff for a total of 36 hours a week to operate the library during open shifts, to organize the inventory to fit into our space, respond to member emails, and keep the tools in good working condition or recycle them as they wear out. We also depend heavily on volunteers to help operate the library during our open hours, to repair tools, and to keep our building in good working order. Our reliance on volunteerism and our shared values of sustainability results in a strong, community-based, wise resource use.
My name's Pat Ronaldson. I moved here about 5 or 6 years ago from the East Coast. We didn't have anything like this on the East Coast, and I thought this was just an amazing concept. Sometimes you don't need a tool for very long, so to be able to just borrow one and return it is just the greatest opportunity, I think. Well, I've bought a lot of gardening tools, and I've borrowed different saws and tile cutters and different drills. So this is a concrete drill. I'm going to put some screws into some concrete. I think it's the best thing ever. I am so thrilled to be in a community that has a tool library. It's just the most fun.
Along with our basic service of loaning tools, we offer a variety of other services that our community loves. We partner with the King County Seed Library to provide a selection of seeds for gardeners. Naturally, we're not loaning these seeds, but we're thrilled if folks save seed from their harvest and share it with others through the Seed Library. We also offer advice, in-house tools, and sometimes help for folks wanting to fix or maintain their bike through our Bike Shack section. We also have an in-house wood shop for members to bring their own wood and use our larger tools to complete projects that require something like a band saw or a large planer. In the fall, we have a couple cider presses on site where folks can bring their family and friends, along with their own apples or pears, to make cider and enjoy the fun of that all-hands-on-deck activity.
I'm Will. Well, I moved here from California. I bought a house and we needed to remodel. And there's some things that, of course, a contractor was hired to do, but I figure that there's other projects where we could save money if we simply had the tools, and the library has been a great resource for that. In the past year, I think I would save hundreds of dollars if I had to buy tools, maybe thousands. So I think if you have the tools, and the desire, you can get the job done. Because not everyone needs to use a power tool every year, and so just being able to borrow it for 1 or 2 jobs, it goes a long way.
Funding would help us return to serving the community at the capacity that we previously were able to, by helping us pay our staff, rent, and utilities, and purchase supplies to help maintain our current inventory of tools. Ultimately, we expect to be able to get back to breaking even when vaccinations and herd immunity help our volunteers and members feel confident to return. But we aren't expecting to be able to make up for the losses from this COVID year. With grant funding from this amazing opportunity, we're confident we can weather the next year while we gradually return to normal operations and likely economic sustainment. We want more than anything to keep on reducing waste, building community resilience, and encouraging fixing rather than buying. And with this help, we can continue to do that for Seattle and King County.
My name is Carolyn Birkenfeld. I'm new to woodworking and different kinds of construction, but it became a new hobby for me during quarantine. I didn't want to have to buy tools myself, and I didn't really have the resources to do that. Today I am getting a circular saw and a chisel, and my roommate wants a dresser, and I found one on Craigslist, but it's a little bit too big, so I'm gonna try something new, cut the top off so that it's the right height, and then make a piece to put on top of it. The tool library is just a really great place to kind of build community and meet other people. It's been really refreshing and great to come here and just see so many people with an open mind and helping people make woodworking and construction more accessible. I think that's something, just as a woman, you see a lot of YouTube videos of older white men showing you how to do different things, and it's not very accessible. I don't have all the tools, but you come here and they'll help anyone do anything they want to do and like run with their dream, and it's been a really great experience.